Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the During Business Hours podcast. My name is Christopher.
And I'm Eric.
Today is Hump Day. Hump Day. Hey,
Jeffrey,
Eric, what day is it?
Jeffrey, guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is?
Hump Day.
Hump Day. Today we're just chilling. Going through, talking about some business trends and things like that. So the insights and predictions are hilarious on some of these sites. I was listening to a site recap last night, and I found that quite a few of these tend to use a lot of buzzwords or promotional words to make things pop. Q2, Q1, analytics, post insights. Our control groups have found that this is the most entertaining for you. Subscribe now for more.
The insights of Q1 and Q2 lead to the greater synergy and greater profitability of Q3 and Q4.
For returns on your, for returns on your principal investment amount. Anyone signed up under you will gain 20%. That's a Ponzi scheme.
I think with an asterisk next to that 20%.
Yeah. So apparently, on-demand economy shift. What do you think is the number one on-demand thing right now?
As far as like service or goods or
Both.
both? I mean, is the graphics card PlayStation 5?
No,
like
what do you order the
What
most?
do we order the most?
Yeah. Not us, but just in general,
people
everyone.
order the most. Everybody's ordering everything right now. People are ordering a lot more food.
Yep,
don't wanna
food,
cook.
groceries, stuff like that.
Don't wanna go out.
But there's not like one app that does all of that. You have like,
This has 70%. This one's got 85%.
well, yeah, you got like 15 different apps that fight each other. You should have, I don't know why one person can't have a monopoly on all of it. And then
Not
just,
a monopoly, but access to
yes,
all
a
restaurants.
monopoly. A monopoly.
Because monopolies are illegal.
Okay. Now, you have Uber Eats, and then you got Postmates, and Postmates is slow as shit. They are like the camel of the
worst.
industry. You got Grubhub,
Most
DoorDash,
expensive. Second most expensive.
yeah, all of these people doing all that shit. But you can't have like just one person be like, "Hey, I made an app so anyone can deliver groceries." I saw someone did it in the UK last year and made money. And I was thinking, I was like, well, why can't you just integrate all four apps? Turns out you can, and freaking Google is blocking them. There's an app that essentially integrated all four so drivers can use simultaneous app delivery services, and they're being cucked. And I thought that was innovation that's being stepped out by
Someone's
the
paying
boot of Google.
Yeah, paying Google to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no money in it for it staying separate. I feel like there's more users, more happiness, more downloads that would be done from them coming together. So someone's throwing some cash out there.
Yeah. You got businesses like the contact payment options or contactless payment options. And they're emphasizing the contactless because of COVID. But people still use their card the same way. All you don't have to do is sign for shit now. No pin on certain transactions. And that makes certain people feel safe, like they're not touching the same beep, boop, beep that everyone's touching. Even though you can use a stylus, you can use a pen, you can use anything to click those four buttons.
It's always
five
been
buttons.
funny to me that contactless payment still requires you to touch your card to the reader, though. So you're still.
Oh, no, you
getting
just
contact.
hover.
Most
Yeah.
people I see gotta hit the neg thing.
Yeah, if you have the tap, the older NFC, but because it would require physical contact NFC to NFC. But nowadays it's more like near field where it doesn't actually have to. You can just hover the phone near to wirelessly charge. And that's been booming. But then you got the e-commerce is super high for the social commerce growth or e-commerce growth. Like Gen Z is 55% of fashion purchases in social media. Now, millennials, another 50%. Gen X is 38%, and baby boomers are 27%. I don't know how baby boomers are buying fashion on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Why are they on the list?
They're buying it for their kids.
Grandbabies, maybe.
Yeah.
But I only ever
Or
see baby
click on it on
boomers in a
accident.
burqa and a freaking turtleneck. You know, they're always cold.
Like you can buy those from China too, hot
Oh, yeah.
fashion delivered to your
Well,
door.
China has its own stuff going on right now with the $305 billion scam that's going on. You hear about that?
Mm.
So there's a company that builds housing. And since COVID-19, there was restrictions on lending and borrowing money. So they had their own employees after owning $1 trillion in real estate. They started having their own employees take out loans so that they could borrow money to have capital to buy homes and build and sell. I can't remember the name of the company at the moment, but let me go search it like this. Okay, so Evergrande's or Evergrande's lenders weigh up to 300 billion in loans, loan losses, rolling over credits. Here's sources. Then you got one of China's Evergrande Group's 3333.HK main lenders has provided provisions for losses on a portion of its loans in the embedded property developer, while some creditors are planning to give more time to repay. Four banks execute, told Reuters. The Chinese bank's measures report for the first time show how financial institutions in the world's second largest economy are bracing for a possible collapse of Evergrande. The developer epitomized China's freewheeling era of borrowing and building, with nearly 305 in liabilities across loans, bonds, so-called trusts, products, and money owed to contractors, suppliers, and among them. Not to mention their own employees have taken out millions of dollars in loans, personal loans for that company. They were conned into it. A lot of people are demanding their own money back, and they're, as you see right here at the Evergrande Center, demanding their money, trying to knock down the building. And it's crazy where this money has been like shifted, moved to. They're not broke, but they're just not making as much capital to repay their debts.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like 4 days and they can't make all that money. If you borrowed too much money and you're borrowing more than your income, like I don't even know. I don't know what you do. That's being underwater, right?
Yeah.
That's considered underwater. Like the only money I've ever borrowed was the paycheck protection.
Because underwater is going to be at the point that you've missed the first payment and you start getting your interests, and then there's no way you can make that.
Because
Then it's just
we got
always red.
like 27 grand for the payroll protection, which was highly under what we were at the time. And then the company that gave us the payroll protection is now under. So there's no one to get the forgiveness from. So I'm waiting on the SBA to contact us. Probably should contact them, but still. It's just one of those things where it's a one-page forgiveness. We set up a secondary account, did everything through it. It ran out in like a month. And it was quite hilarious. The Evergrande thing scares the shit out of me because China, being one of the biggest economies, 305 billion is 2% of their global GDP. So that means a 2% shift in what their income or their debt and losses, if you just poof gone, that means cost of goods is going up, cost of value in homes is going down, and the repercussions trickle down to the U.S.
It goes and hits everything that affects that, and that's going to be multinational.
The only
money
thing
that
I
just to
want
the
is the
US.
housing market in the U.S. to crash again.
Oh, it's getting
I
there.
want to buy a house, and y'all are fucking with me. Just telling you right now. I was there in the 2008 crisis. My mother was in mortgage, homes, capital finance. It was a hard time for her. I went to the military, but still, it's I just want to buy a home, and y'all are buying shit sight unseen. Give a man a break. The banks that are trying to collect on Evergrande is they're not going to get anything. I think these guys have locked up whatever money they do have, and they are on the run from President Xi and his goon squads. But it's crazy, the amount of people that are trying to come after these guys. I just thought it was so crazy. But you're seeing that after 2020, our industry is one of the top 5 trends now. It's the resale, sustainability, disrupting Apple on buy, sell, trade, trade-in markets. It's blowing up. You got a lot of startups and guys who are working through like the Starbucks guys, the guys doing it out of their high schools. They were doing it through their Zoom classes. You got people that are advertising strictly on TikTok that are getting 300,000 followers. Then they flip the account, sell it for 15, 20 grand. And I know one person that keeps selling those accounts. And the people who get the accounts are a little frustrated because then you don't know how to manage a
larger page.
And they're not posting 3 to 4 times a day, so they're not getting as much content or eyes to their page. Like, we've had a couple of videos that have gone 50 to 100,000 views, and we only have like 10 videos, but we're not maintaining it 4 to 5 a day. I don't got that type of energy to do 3 different businesses, 2 of my own children, my wife, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, I got energy for this podcast, some video editing, a little bit of streaming, 2 children, sometimes my wife, and work.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes. We get a date night every other week.
I stepped that up to every week.
We did. We used to have every week. And then grandparents got full up of having the kids every single week. So can't abandon your kids every week. Just keep that in mind if you got kids. Then they're going to expect you to not be around as much. I like my kids being self-sufficient on their own. My son is getting a little more clingy to me. He was when he was younger. It was dad. But he broke off of it for a while, and now he's back on the only wants to be on dad when he wakes up, only wants to be on dad when he goes to sleep. Daddy doesn't get no sleep. Ooh, CPR is temporarily closed now.
What'd they do?
I don't know. I was just looking at Google real quick and saw CPR is temporarily closed. You got us here at the top. Our ad is showing. Yeah, we got a 4.1 on Google. We've had some hate, but a bandwagon of it. It happens. And then you got Alika's iParts. Shout out to them. They're good shit. And then we got third again, but U-Break iFix is 4.2. I know the new owner of U-Break iFix. They are a decent management squad over there. Older guys, didn't know what they were doing. We had helped out a couple of times. I'm not sure who Elite Phone Repair. I know First Response. Great guys, struggling at times. iPhone Technicians is just a fake page that gets a lot of fake reviews. But why are they closed? Let's see. Oh, they got a lot of people who haven't. Oh, they moved. And their stuff is missing. Ooh. Placed my phone for repairs back in March before the pandemic. Have driven over a few times. The business appears to have moved out. Several calls to corporate, no resolve yet. Don't want to file a class action lawsuit against them, but I'm becoming increasingly frustrated with the lack of professionalism, no response, and non-responsiveness for this business and their parent corporation. The periodic public announcements are being updated, but it still shows it's temporarily closed. I have such valuable information on my phones that cannot be replaced. What's going on? It would really help if you gave a definite response to permanently closed or whether they intend to reopen and return any personal items. I'm going to like that one. And then this one says, went to have my PS3 and iPad Air fixed July 2020. Said they could give us a call when it's done. Where can I get my items back? When are they going to have mine and everyone else's items? They should call everyone and tell them they were going to close down so we can get our items back, at least get them shipped to another CPR cell phone repair store nearby. So sad. Where's the good customer service when you need it? That is...
A lot of people have devices there since March, it looks like.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
So they shut down right before the pandemic? Oh, look,
This lady even her
local
reviews
guys.
from a year ago, and they'd closed 9 months before that, so that's like right when the pandemic started.
This one's 7 months ago. They said they fixed my son's PS4. Not the case. Took it back a second time when they were, and well, they closed down. They didn't try to contact us, let us know, and now we are out the money for the PS4 and all the games on top of what we paid to have it fixed in the first place. Not cool. Don't know if this exists. Update. Very helpful. Understood my problem. See, you can always win back a customer. Brought my grandfather's iPad to replace the screens. Sorry, I'm liking every bad one. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I thought it was the more button. Set it out at least 9 months. My granddaughter and all her family photos, special things that she no longer has. Very upsetting. The pandemic started and nobody answers the phone. I went by the Rancho Cordova location and they were remodeling. The phone number in the day is constantly busy. The positive review shown must be very old. What do we do now? I think we'll drive by again to see if stores open. The business looks like it's still open to help. The problem I have with reviews, you see any of these that are one review? This right here, nobody makes a Google account to only make one review. This Google account, in my opinion, is fake. Because once you make one Google review, your phone doesn't shut the fuck up. It will constantly ask you, how was this place? How was that place? And it is so convenient just to click a star. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to leave any information. You just click a star. So to have somebody after 7 months ignore this constant pop-up on their phone is impossible. I'm telling you, because I know what it's like to want to put a shit ton of fake reviews on your page, especially when we had a competition down the road that was there for 3 months, ended up shutting down. But they had over 600 reviews, all 5 stars. Looked real, looked authentic. But it turns out you can pay for that on Fiverr. You get packages of 100, 200, 300 constant reviews, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, etc. Now, I know there's customers that don't have Google, and when they come to us, they put their Google in, they'll give a review, but I know that they continually update that. Now, we've had our own fair share of shit reviews, but if you come at us and you ask, hey, I've had a very hard time with if one of my guys is on an off day or we broke something, we will fix it. That's our obligation. Well, technically, our waiver says we don't have to fix it, but that'll never happen. Anytime we notify you of any risks, that's the only concern. Like, hey, your screen is already cracked, but you want me to do a battery. If this cracks anymore during the heat or the removal process, we're not liable for that because we're warning you, hey, there's a risk to that. The worst case, we'll bundle it together and save you some money on a screen and a battery. And people do get angry about that and then want to leave a review after the fact. They broke my stuff. Well, ma'am, you were duly noted of the risks, yeah. And then you get a lot of people that are just upset that, hey, it ended up costing more than I thought. Well, we gave you an estimate on the front end. If it's not exactly correct or if you were off by $10, I'm so sorry. That's why it's an estimate. You know, I can only do so much over the phone until you bring it in and all of a sudden your frame is bent in half. So from there, you can't solve everyone's problems. You get a lot of demanding people. The 2016 to 2021 repair industry has benefited from widespread popularity of smartphones, which typically have fragile screens and hard to replace components. Not true. These characteristics have encouraged consumers to more frequently turn to professional repair shops to salvage devices that are still operational or operable. However, the industry also contended with declining cell phone prices and yearly upgrade plans as cell phone technology rapidly evolves. As the price continues to decrease and carriers introduce contract-free leasing plans, which is not true, consumers and businesses may shift towards replacements instead of repairs. Furthermore, the industry experiences a growing threat of more durable devices. Also not true. Yeah. As devices become stronger, the likelihood and these are all locked to purchase, but that's funny.
You have to buy the article.
It's a $4 billion market, It's way more than $4 billion, I think, but number of businesses around 10,000. Profit margin is under double digits? No. It can't only be 26,000 in industry statistics. My point of that is that it's a large industry and you got a lot of people saying a lot of things. now T-Mobile is doing repairs, right?
They're
You
starting
hear
to
that?
set up little shops, yeah.
Well, not even little shops.
But
So
a little repair desk in back on the
it's an
floor.
Asurion-backed thing, like you break, I fix. The problem is, and the reason that I'm looking at all these market trends and whatnot, is everyone's freaking out about it. Now, to me, it's laughable. Let me tell you why. In 2016, we all said Apple was going to shut it down. They're going to offer repairs. They offered repairs. We saw a decline for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're right back up there when they see that Apple's not employing people that are diligent or corrective or on par with the average technician or person who willingly wants to be in the repair field. Then you get all these business owners that are like, I'm selling my shop. Well, we heard 2017 Sprint was going to start offering repairs in the early 2018. They did. And for a while, I even took my own Samsungs there. Took all my customer Samsungs there because nobody wanted to drop them off or leave them. So we quoted 2 to 3 days. We dropped them off, got them in, boom, paid a smaller price, charged a higher price. Here you go, made a profit on it. Told everyone, hey, I'm going to go run this to another store because it's cheaper for you if I order and do this part right now. But that's the bait and switch. Sprint upped their price after like 3 months. So now any back glass, any chipped or non-working camera, nothing just breaks one item. So you never get just a broken screen. You get broken screen, you get a back glass, you'll get camera blur, you'll get broken lens, you'll get charge ports.
Heard a home button.
Too many items. And so what everyone with this T-Mobile thing is forgetting is that T-Mobile bought Sprint. Sprint's been doing repairs for years. All they're doing is retrofitting the way that they're doing repairs because they see this $4 billion market cap or market industry size and they want a piece of it. But even if there's only 30,000 in the employment of the repair industry, there is, 500 million in the U.S. with over 1 billion in devices. Even Sprint's, 13 to 17,000 stores in T-Mobile cannot keep up with what we do on a day-to-day basis. Like we have slow days. 10 people came in. 15 people called. And then you got Sprint stores that are dead for a week, but they still employ everyone.
Yeah.
And they only get, on-site bill payment. And their job is to upsell everyone. So if they don't have that 360 plan, they're not getting a repair for $29.99. When they break their device, they're going to get $2.99 or $3.99. But they're going to bundle that 360 plan for everyone for that first couple of months for like $8. And that's where these guys are scared. Like, everyone's going to have this 360 plan and it's going to be so much harder to compete with pricing. Well, shit. Take all your own devices to Sprint and T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Save on your overhead.
They're fixing it that much cheaper. Meet them halfway on your price to the T-Mobile price or whatever.
I just dropped the mic. I was like, Sprint did this in 2017. We're still here. There's always going to be a demand because, yet again, like another video we made, we do more than cell phone repair. Like I custom built somebody's computer the other day, hard tubing, whole nine. It's decent money. It's $500-$600 for my time.
That's just the don't put all your eggs in the one basket. Repairs are down. Device sales are up. Device sales are down. The financing is up.
Oh,
You
we're
have all the different
fortunate,
things.
yeah, because we had a lady from Africa that cleared us out, and we haven't really restocked any of our devices. I'm like, well, no, we're out of devices right now. So, need to do that. It is compelling when you read these articles to try and tailor the advertising in certain areas, because there's some of these ads will say business is booming in this location or to this demographic, to this degree for device types. And so you're like, oh, maybe I should put up an ad that says this, or run a couple of loops in Facebook for this. It's confusing. I think what we got works at the moment and makes decent money. All bills are paid, taxes are paid. Go from there. Anything you've come across in the last couple of days?
Not much on the business side of things. Just the interesting customers we've talked about.
You're still sick. I can hear
I'm fighting it. I'm trying to
it.
taking all my medicine to vitamin C's. I ate a apple. Gets to get some real vitamins in me.
Zycam is the way to go. That's what got me over it. The little shove the tube up your nose like a COVID test. It's just got a bunch of liquid and you hold it in there. It's a fun one.
Never even heard of that one.
You've never heard of Zycam?
Like I recognize the name. There's been a commercial or something somewhere, but I don't know what it is.
This right here. It's a swab. You see this?
Yeah.
So it's a swab that you crack. It goes and it breaks, and then you swab it up your nose while holding it. It is supposedly supposed to shorten a cold, as we are sure that it is not COVID, as my wife has been tested. And it's just your average everyday cold, sinus, flu, whatever. You got Zycam melts that melt under the tongue. You got gum. You got a gel pack. There's a million different Zycam things. That's why they're so damn expensive. The rapid melts, nasal spray.
Run for drinks and see if I can grab a Zycam then.
Yeah, elderberry medicated fruit drops, spray, sinus swabs. What else? They got an anal decongestant. Analgesic
Oh, okay.
decongestant.
Like,
Sorry, same thing.
ooh, this cold's about to get a lot more fun. My light
Okay.
died.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't have much battery.
we'll cut that. The if you ever hear anything to the, I'm not even gonna go there.
I'm just here to cause problems.
Yep, that's too much. That is definitely too much. Damn it, Eric. We cut that for everyone's ears so that it's not too dark, but or kinky.
We'll post it in the during business hours, after hours special whenever this takes off.
Hey man, we're taking off. It's more of a hobby. We'll get the content out there and then go from there. But boy, that was one hell of a... Oh, so what's the plan for this coming week for the store?
Plan for this week, I got to restock everything, spending all your money. We got to retrain our people on note taking, the eternal issue.
Why is it so hard to get people to write down notes after they've done a repair?
I'll remember what happens. This is for Janice. You know, that's an iPhone 8, little spot of liquid damage. You know, I'll remember that. And then she comes back 87 days from now under warranty for an issue. And I don't know about you, but I would not remember that at all.
We have a guy from, a year ago about a printer that has been recycled and claims that he was never contacted. We have no invoice. We have no printer. We have a receipt for a printer check-in. No notes, no nothing. That printer must have sat there for almost a year. But here's the problem with when something's abandoned. You have to have diligent notes. We try to contact, we wait for a response for 30 days, incur the storage charge. We try to contact. And then on the 6th month, we'll try and contact again, donated, or destroyed. You owe us 3 months of a storage fee on top of that recycling fee. Now, that's for the really arrogant, I don't owe you anything. They push us. They want to say that they don't owe a dime for our time or our storage. We are not the... We had a guy that left that 11 Pro Max or the 12 Pro Max, and he still paid the $120 for the storage fee. Some people know that we're not their... We're not your storage container. We're not your renter U-Haul. We will hold on to something for as long as we can. Big-ass TVs we chuck after 90 days. no storage, no nothing. You owe us $25 for recycling. That's for me and somebody else's time to take anything over 40 inches and throw it in the dumpster. And those 40-inch and above TVs, if they're plasma or if they're, an older LCD, they can be quite heavy. So not that we can't lift it, it's just we're going to get some money for our time either way. Always charge for your time. It's one of the repeating, oscillating things in my mind is my time is money. Even my time with my kids is valued at something. That's why the government says that I have to pay child support to, it's not that I have to pay child support, but I'm just saying if I was away from my wife, I'd have to pay child support.
If you were separated, that would be required.
Your time is a value. If you cannot be there for your time, then you must support in other means. Not every man supports financially. There's women who support their man and their family. Power to them. But there's still a cost for your time. Every person's time is there. You ever seen the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, everyone has you have this long to live on their arm. They get the tattoo timer.
That is so true. That's why you got people dying at 20 with unexplained death. They've given their time out to so many people. Mm-hmm. Die at 40, die at 60. And just some people give a lot less shits and sometimes might give a fuck meter's broken. I get so piped up about it quite often. I have an argument with one person a week about how time is money. I see a family member will be doing something for free for their neighbor. And I'm like, well, you should be charging to clean out those gutters, or you should be charging to wash your neighbor's garbage cans or whatever. Oh, no, I'm doing mine. I should do theirs. And no, you should not.
At least be trading it for some other little favor. Like my parents do help gardening with my neighbor, but he's like a big old contractor dude, keeps the fence nice.
It's a hard lesson to learn when people need to learn it, but they will eventually. Once they're broke and then asking to get paid to do the same thing they did for free, somebody's going to scoff and be like, you never charged me before. Well, that's not my fault. I'm just trying to educate. I want my kids to know that their time is money. You open a lemonade stand, you better have a clear return.
You're not teaching your kids by having them do a lemonade stand if they're not making 20 cents on a cup.
I'm not going to pound it into them, but I need them to know that their time is worth money. Even their free time should be about learning to do something to do better financially, investments. I want them to know by the age of 10 how much they can put away and get compound interest for 30 years to make their money make money. Things I didn't know. My parents were like, oh, go watch TV. Up, go watch TV. Up, get the hell out of the house. Up, bye. It was not parenting from the age of 8 to the age of 15. Then when, me and my dad got closer, it was a little more like, oh, hey, buddy. And we became friends. But it was never, here's X, Y, and Z. We had family friends for that because my family was going through a bunch of shit from there. But
one thing I love to see, though, is the kids who break their phones and their parents bring them in. And the kids too young to have a job, like maybe 12 tops, and the parents are like, oh, that's $90. How, what does that equate to? And the kid's like, oh, that's 4 weekends of yard work. I'm gonna, like, the parents have instilled that's several weekends you can't hang out with the light hates me. Weekends you can't hang out with your friends because you're going to be cleaning gutters, doing this, and that. And the kid makes the decision, to do it because they've made the decision themselves that their time is going towards this project to get them their phone that's going to give them more enjoyment or a better ability with which to, do things.
And I completely understand and agree with some of those parents. My topic as a parent, even though I'm in the repair industry and the wholesale industry side of things, it's my kids just need to know the value of a dollar, whether it's the shitty US dollar or a more powerful currency or a cryptocurrency. They need to know what's going to be able to afford them the luxury time in their life. Me, I had to work nonstop from 16 to 30 before I could relax just a little bit. Had a family, so on and so forth. Now I have to work really hard to make sure that they understand those values until they're 15, 16, and then they can start to develop their own. Then I can relax a little more. And then when they're 18 and out the fuck of my house, then I can do the whole, failure to launch guy walking around naked in front of my aquarium and living like a nudist. You never know. But the moral of the story is just the knowledge needs to be passed down to be a hard worker and a smart thinker. So that's with the kids where I'm hoping to be at.
Teach your kids to be smarter than you, or give them the resources to be as smart as they can be.
Yeah. It's... Oh, my son. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a hard one. He is hard-headed even as a baby. So we'll go from there. I think we're ready to open up shop, get started on hump day. And we'll see you all. Like, follow, subscribe, listen for more.
See ya.